So last time in our adventures, Rudigar Took traveled from Stock in the East Farthing all the way to Thighfield in the West Farthing to resolve a dispute between a Andy Roper, the owner of a rope factory, and 3 dwarves led by a Urgi Broadbeam in a dispute over stolen rope. He resolved that and discovered that Urgi was framed by a Hobbit farm lass who was prejudiced against dwarves for the disappearance of her husband. And going into there, we are still in 2965 of the Third Age. We are going to have a fellowship phase. So this is just going to be a very brief fellowship phase, probably down in Mickeldelving, before Rudigar has his next case to solve in the adventure, in the Shire. So, choosing destination, it's going to be Mickeldelving in the Shire. Spiritual recovery, I regain my heart back equal to heart. So, I was at 12 hope at the end because of my fellowship. So, I regained 7 back to 17, which is definitely enough to get back to 17. And then undertaking. It's not a Yule phase, so I don't get bonus skill points. I get 2 undertakings, 1 undertaking just from the big list, and then I can get a bonus undertaking based on my calling of messenger. So the 2 undertakings I've taken are gather rumors, and then I'm going to do meet patron because I'm a messenger. And we're going to say I've met Bilbo Baggins in Mickeldelving over the course of this week-long kind of rest that I've done. I'm going to roll on the lore table to determine what kind of rumors I've gathered. So that is Guide, Forgotten, Honor. Guide, Forgotten, Honor. So what kind of rumor could that potentially mean? So I think while resting in Mickeldelving, Rudigar has overheard some of the hobbits talking at the Bird and the Baby Inn about a group of wanderers who were spotted wandering in the North Moors in the North Farthing. And apparently some hobbits say that these were the rangers or so, known as kind of vagabonds and whatnot. And apparently they're kind of guarding something, and that kind of sparks Rudigar's interest enough to potentially travel into the North Moors to figure out what these rangers are guiding and what they are potentially guarding, first of all. So wandering rangers are crossing the North Moors. What are they protecting? And how does it affect the Shire? I'm going to likely undertake a journey. So I'm at Mickeldelving, and I need to make my way into the North Moors. So Rudigar Took is investigating these rumors that he has said. He's got permission by some of the sheriffs to investigate these goings-on in the Shire. And I think when he meets Bilbo, he was also able to... Bilbo gave him a gift. Bilbo knowing that the world is dangerous for Hobbit adventurers, gave him a sword to replace his club. Yes, so I am kitted out with a bow, my dagger, and a short sword. I'm leaving the club behind. Alright, so I've got favored travel and 2 dice in it, and I will spend a point of hope to invoke Strider. Alright, so that's a normal success, so that's 3 hexes away. Oh, that is a joyful sight. Majestic creatures. Hunting to observe them. Alright, so I'm not going to spend a point of hope, because I get a hope back anyways, so... It's kind of metagamey, I guess. So I'm just going to roll my hunting. If I don't succeed, it's fine. 10, that's a 14. So I just missed. So I think what is going on Rudigar Took is traveling north along some of the Shire paths on his pony. His pony named Tony, and he's trotting along. It's a very easy journey. Like late summer breeze is kind of breezing through the Shire meadows. The paths are simple. People are going to and fro along, and he makes his way up into kind of the green fields area when he does in fact spot the tracks of some deer, and he tries to follow the deer tracks for a while, but eventually he loses them, and he's not able to find the tracks of the deer, and he kind of reorientates himself along the path back to the North Moors. So I'm only one hex away from my destination, so I don't need to roll again, because even on a failure, it will be an event 2 hexes away. So arriving in the North Moors, about 4 days. I think actually he's not even quite in the North Moors. He's arrived in the town of Oatborton. So Rudy, on the 4th day, arrives in the town of Oatborton in the North Farthing, and he's going to go about looking for some riddles and rumors about what kind of things the locals there know about these strange wanderers that have been kind of trespassing through Shire lands. So that, I think, is going to be a lore test. I'm not going to spend a point of hope. Alright, so that's a great success. So, Rudigar Took has arrived in Oatborton, and he begins kind of questioning the locals about the whereabouts of these strange wanderers. What have they heard about people passing through? Hold legend. So Hold legend is what I got. Asking around about Hold legend. Hold legend to me, I think there are rumors of an old ruined tower in the far north that occasionally Hobbit tweens, when they get rambunctious, will go to. But recently, this tower has seemed to be occupied. And, some of the older hobbits here, say, well, some of the more older and sensible hobbits will talk about how, well, they're just bandits holding up there. But some of the more superstitious hobbits are talking about how, well, these are ghosts in this tower. This ruined tower that's in the North Moors, an old ruined tower of kings, ghosts have taken up and are kind of keeping the hobbits at bay to kind of protect their land. Not in several months have hobbits even set foot in the North Moors, for they're afraid of these ghosts, or, in the case of the more sensible hobbits, they're just like, they're just bandits, if the hobbit bounders can deal with it, it shouldn't be an issue. So this is like a perfect job for Rudigar to, scout out and get rid of these bandits. Of course, he's keeping that in the back of his mind, that there are rumors of ghosts and spirits and strange lights in this ancient tower. So, traveling up from Oatborton into the North Moors, I'm going to roll on the North Moors encounter table. So, on his way, traveling through some of the outlying farms from Oatborton, he eventually kind of finds himself in this kind of rugged, hilly country, these old kind of moors, these dreary hills, with a kind of low-lying fog kind of like creeping in the early mornings. One night while he makes camp, while searching for this old tower, he finds this curious clay pot with this strange, intricate, almost elvish design and script. It's kind of broken on one end, but it's like this jar. It's this clay potted jar that's kind of broken at the tip. And he finds it very curious, and he kind of stores it in his messenger bag. A perfect manthem. It seems mostly useless, but it's a perfect manthem that perhaps the Manthem House would be more than willing to take as a interesting artifact. I'm going to say we need to do a prolonged test or an extended action. We're doing a skill endeavor to search for this encounter. I'm going to say I have plenty of time to complete this task, right? Like, I'm not in any real rush to complete this, so I have about a time limit of 6. So I need to, and I don't think this isn't particularly hard. So I'm going to say I need just 3 successes. So, yes. So the most appropriate skills, I think, would be explore. And I'm going to invoke folklore because he does have some knowledge of the outside realm, the outside realms with his folklore. He has stories of the ancient days and how to kind of find these old, abandoned sites. And that riddle actually gave me a great success. And one of the options in Strider mode is to gain an advantage on your next roll. So I'm going to maybe bend the rules a bit. And I'm just going to do another explore test with an advantage from his riddle. So he got a little bit of detail on where this potentially was. So I get a bonus die from my riddle roll from earlier. That is a normal success. Perfect. It takes him about a day to travel from Outborton into this. So it's nearing the evening. You can, the sun is setting, and this kind of like eerie light is kind of casted along as he arrives finally at this old tower. So I'm going to go ahead and ask the telling table a question. And this is what I'm going to ask. Is this ruined tower occupied by friends? I'm just going to give it a middling chance. Yes, it is currently occupied. But I didn't get an extreme yes. So I don't know if they're friends yet, or maybe there aren't friends nearby. What does this tower look like? I'm going to do the lore table, and I'm just going to assume, because I think it's funner, that I rolled an I. Cruel War. So this was a wartime tower. I'll ask the telling table now. Are friendly people here now? And I'm going to put doubtful. No. No one is here now. At least no one that he can see. But he does see signs of occupation. And he does see some old camps that were set up around. So Cruel War, Rudigar is kind of coming up very stealthily and just kind of figuring out what exactly is going on. He does see some fresh campsites, a day old or so, and it's this kind of crumbling, ruined tower. So Cruel War to me means that this was brought down in war. At this point, you can see the gate. The gate was kind of blasted open by this battering ram. There are the remains of kind of pikes in the ground all around him, and these kind of siege ladders and the like. So the siege ladders kind of tilted up against some of the ruined walls. So this isn't just a tower. There's a central tower that's kind of a keep, and there's kind of ruined walls all around that probably stand no higher than 5 feet, 6 feet in some places. The doors have been the gates have been kind of been broken open, and you can kind of see that the metal has been bent and twisted in places, or the wooden doors have been broken off of their hinges to the main entrance of both the wall and the tower itself. There are a few scattered black arrows, black feathered arrows of goblin make scattered around. Whoever lived here likely died in war. The rumors in Micheldelving said someone was guiding forgotten honor, that there were protectors. So this was once a great keep, a keep of the Northmen who once ruled these lands. So I'm going to make a stealth test to kind of make my way deeper in. All right, so that's an extraordinary success. So he's able to make his way undetected, and he's going to look up into the towers. So he's going to make an awareness test. All right, so that's an extraordinary success. So looking up into kind of the ruined windows of this tower, what does he see? Looking up, he thinks he sees a glimpse of something moving. It doesn't look humanoid. It doesn't look human or even Hobbit, but something kind of darted past a window, this kind of dark shade. So he's stealthing up, and he has made his way into this tower. On the ground floor, he's found what looks like kind of several rooms. This main room seems to kind of be a foyer, and there's one kind of exit, which is this kind of hallway leading down, and he kind of leaves this kind of foyer area, which mostly seems to be kind of rusted with various kind of objects and a few stools, broken stools, and some old weapons and the like. Going down the hallway is a staircase that kind of leads up, and it kind of wraps around. But there's one other door that he goes, and is that door locked? Or is the door unlocked? And I'm going to say it's likely. Yes, the door is unlocked. So he approaches, and he carefully opens it up. What does he find in this room specifically? Restored song. So in this room, he finds the remains of a library that is in relatively good condition. There are a few kind of tattered tapestries on the walls of ancient forgotten battles, and there are a few kind of broken bookcases and bookshelves. But for the most part, as he kind of wanders through, some of the tomes here are in relatively good condition, and he finds a specific one that seems to be this old song of the old kings of Norbury, or at least that is what he knows, and he kind of takes it, and he's able to read it. It is in the common tongue, and he's able to understand most of it, but he doesn't understand most of the names. But he's able to kind of decipher that this was at least the old, speaking about the old kings, it's this old, forgotten song. But other than that, there doesn't seem to be much in here. There is some creature on some of the upper levels, so he kind of backs out of the room, taking that tome with him, putting it into his messenger bag, and he carries himself back up the stairs, very carefully, peering around the corner and listening and watching as he reaches up the top of the stairs to see. How many floors are there in this tower? I think there's more than 2, but less than 4. So I think we saw that on the 3rd floor. But he's still going to be very cautious. He doesn't hear or see anything. So he comes up. Is there someone on this floor? I'm going to say it's doubtful. Doubtful. No. There's no one on this floor. So he doesn't hear anything. So he's kind of got his sword in his hand and his buckler, and he's kind of approaches forward very cautiously. How many doors are on this floor? There are 6 rooms. I don't know. I don't think they're all connected from this main hallway. So there are 5 other doors peeking out. 1, 2 on one side, and then 3 on the other. So and then the stairs that kind of wrap up the back tower. So he approaches the first door on the left. And what does he see in this? He finds refuge. So I think this is a well-stocked supply room. And this is actually fairly decently well-stocked. It's like a pantry almost. There's vegetables, grains, rice, corns, flours, that sort of thing, dried meats and whatnot, kind of all in this area. And it looks relatively fresh. And he kind of backs out, going into the next room. And in the next room, he finds a room filled with chests of gold and gems and just treasure. Let's ask the telling table what kind of hoard this is. Well, we'll ask, is this a greater or better hoard? And I think that is unlikely. I don't think this is a greater or better hoard at all. I think this is probably a lesser hoard. So we'll say this is unthinkable. 8. No, it is not. It is not a greater or marvelous hoard. This is a lesser hoard. So it's this room filled with treasure, some treasure chests and whatnot. A small kind of treasure chest and whatnot. And is there any other rooms out of this room? There are. There is another door. Is this a hidden door? Yes, it is a hidden door. So there's a hidden door that he doesn't know about. But he finds this chest, 2 treasure. So he's going to do a scan. And I'm going to... That's a 6 with an I. Or ill fortune table. You are plagued by troubling visions or thoughts. So I'm going to make a wisdom test. I'm going to make a dread test. My valor is 1 to resist shadow. And I got a 10. So I gain 1 shadow. As he's kind of searching... he doesn't find anything else in this room. It just seems to be this treasure chamber, which whatnot, and he kind of stashes the treasure into his pockets. Moving on to the next door, what does he find? Threaten, unnatural tool. Threaten unnatural tool. This is something that's horrifying to him. He finds this ancient work of like a torture device. And he kind of wheels up a little bit in his mind, because this is this old unnatural like device that was used to torture innocent people. So I think this is very clearly the work of orcs. So I'm gonna have to do another dread test. 8. I gained 2 shadow. So he kind of wells up inside of him, and he's like, as he kind of sees this unnatural like device that was used to torture individuals, torture them. So something happened here. This is an old device. It's not recent. We can see like kind of stained blood from years of not being used, still kind of like splattered across the floor. It's dried and old, and at this point it just kind of seems just like musty, brownish coat of paint almost covered across the floor. But he doesn't even realize there's blood at first until he kind of puts it together. He quickly shuts the door, and he makes it a little bit too loud. Was that too loud? And I'm going to say almost certainly yes. Or I guess I'll answer it in such a way that's good for me. So, was that quiet enough? And I'll say unthinkable. Something almost certainly heard me. And he kind of quickly goes to the next one and peeks in. No, he doesn't have time, because I think at this point, so he like searches, but as he approaches that second to last room he has investigated, he almost certainly hears a screech. And what is that? He's going to ask the telling table what this is. I don't think it's an orc. Is this a marsh dweller? I'm going to say a middling chance. A 5. No, it is not. Is this worth? Is this a wraith? Yes. So he hears this terrifying shriek and this unnatural kind of sense of dread all about him. He looks to the stairs, and he sees this kind of airy, dark, airy green light kind of just emanating. And he kind of like steps forward ever but so cautiously. And he kind of takes a deep breath and a gulp, and he kind of steps forward. We'll do strike fear. Because as this happens, he sees this unnatural black-robed figure with this ancient black sword, this ancient pitted sword, reeling down the stairs. And I'll spend a point of hope. So that's a great success. So I cancel 1 of the shadow, but I still gain 4 shadow. Or not 1 shadow. I'm now at 4 total shadow. I don't think Rudigar is going to be able to face off. I don't think he has enough. Yeah. Let's see if I get an opening volley, guys. Probably not. No, I don't. And I would say, yeah, this is dark enough, especially like now. He's been investigating this for about an hour. It's now well into the night. Well, not well into the night. It's probably about an hour past dark. Did someone nearby who is friendly hear the shriek? I'm going to say yes, because we do know the ranges were around here, at least out of character. So I'm going to say that it's likely that someone friendly who is nearby. They may not be able to get it immediately, but oh, no. Always no, with an extreme result or twist. So, in fact, someone who was friendly did not hear, but someone who was unfriendly did hear. I think there's a troll nearby. Yeah, there's a troll nearby. Straight up. Not in the tower, but there's like a nearby cave. And like now the troll is, this is from the North Moors in the North Downs. Trolls often kind of wander around these parts. Maybe the Rangers left. Like they straight up left to try to figure out how to defeat this creature and how he just got himself into trouble. So in fact, this place was haunted. It is haunted by ghosts and spirits and whatnot. So I'm going to go into Ford, and I'm going to say, because I just want to go, I get 4 dice. That'll beat 16. That's a Gandalf rune with a great success. So my sword does 3 damage. So let's do just a heavy blow, I guess. Actually, I'm going to do fend off because I don't want to get hit. So my parry's increased by 1. And I'm going to do, is there anything? He's going to go deep into his recesses and roll a lore check to see is there anything he knows. He'll spend a point of hope. Is there anything he knows about these creatures? No, there is not. And that's in fact an Iosaurus. You find yourself ill-equipped. Oh, I definitely find myself ill-equipped for the circumstances. I'm not sure how. Other than my circumstances, I was already ill-equipped because I'm not ready to fight this. So that doesn't... I don't know how to, add anything more with that ill fortune roll. Other than, oh, no shit, I found myself ill-equipped. This is a PG show, so with the pitted blade, he has to get 19. And the Wraith has 3 dice. So, you know what? I forgot to roll an armor set. So I'll do that now. So that's a failure. I'm going to spend a point of hate. Down to 2 hate. To cancel a wound. Spend 1 hate to cancel a wound. When an attack afflicts damage to the creature that would cause it to go to 0. Spend 1 hate to bring it back up. I cancel a wound. Even though it failed. But it's got 2 hate left. Alright. Rudigar's not sure how to do, and he'll stay in forward. Round 2. Maybe not the best, but he didn't get hit. This pitted blade comes driving down, and he manages to roll out of the way as he knocks it out like this strange, ghastly figure. Okay, so that's a great success. I rolled an 8 on the feat die. Piercing blow with a sword. I believe I need... Yeah, that only increases it to 1, so it's no good. So I'll just do fend off again. So I do 4 damage. I'll do a heavy blow. Actually, I'll do an additional 2. Well, no, I'll do fend off. That's better. Fend off. So I'm back to 18. Alright, that's a 21 with a great success. We're just going to do... So that's 4 damage. And I'll do a pierce. Because I have to try to pass 14. So I take 4 damage. I'll spend a point of hope. Out of 16, I got a great success. So I'm not wounded. I am down to 10 hope. Alright, I'm going to go into skirmish stance. So skirmish stance, enemies in close combat lose a die. And I have to reread the rules on skirmish stance. You can only attack adversaries using ranged weapons. Adversaries attack with melee weapons lose 1 die, while those who attack you with ranged suffer no penalty. For ranged attack rolls, lose 1 die. To escape from combat, roll your ranged attack. Okay. without losing 1 die on the roll. Gain ground. Combatants on the move can attempt to gain an advantage. To do so, the active player makes an athletics or scan roll as their main action on the round. On a success, the attacker gains 1 die on the next range attack plus another 1 die for each success icon. So go into defensive, I guess. And let's reread Escape Combat, because I'm not ready to do this. I'm ill-equipped and ill-prepared to do this. Fly, you fools. Oh, they assume a word is automatically, but I have to do defensive stance. If the attack roll is a success, but do I lose a die in defensive? I guess I do. I don't know. I think I lose a die still. So my swords is 3. I lose a die. I'm going to spend a point of hope because I want to make sure I escape. I'm at 9 hope. That's an Eye of Sauron. It's a failure. But he attacks with his pitted blade. Or I guess his cruel spear. I was attacking with the cruel spear. So he loses a die. He misses. Ill fortune table. Unexpected enemies emerge or are sighted. So I think he's beginning to hear the crushing outside of the tower. The troll is here. And it's like trying to bash down. It's not inside. So we move into round 4. I'm going to stay in defensive, I guess, and just try to escape. And I gotta escape, so I spend a point of hope. Alright, I escape. I got a great success. I'm down to 8 hope. So he kind of darts down, and he's on the first level, scrambling forward, and as he gets back to that foyer room, he sees something marching out. This troll has kind of busted through, and it's a small troll, a cave's troll slinker, so it's only about 7 feet tall, but is able enough to fit in this bottom level. I'm going to do a stealth test to see if I can sneak past him. Alright, that's a great success. So I think I managed to dart past him and sneak past and get in and kind of get all the way over to those campsites. Kind of catch my breath. But Tony, frightened, has darted off somewhere. I'm going to have to find Tony. So my hunting is 2. Just barely a great success. But I'm down on hope. So I've kind of managed to, I found Tony, and I ride for the rest of the night. So I think that just means I gain fatigue. Am I safe where I'm at? That's the question. Can I find a safe place tonight? And I'm going to have to do middling. 8. I'm able to find a safe place. I horribly failed. I don't even know what my mission was. It was to investigate this tower. I didn't really have a mission. But I got treasure on my pony. Load out that. So I rest for the night. I regain my endurance equal to my strength. Oh no, for a prolonged rest, I regain all my endurance. So I'm back at 20. And I'm going to just spend all my fellowship. So I regain 6 hope. Alright, so I'm back up to 13 hope. I regained a decent amount of shadow. I'm going to roll again on the Northmoors encounter table to see if there's something else I encounter along my way back to Oatborton. What happens, so along his way, he kind of got lost, a little side skirted along in the North Moors. He comes across this, the next morning, he comes across this kind of great crevice and fissure in the ground, and he looks down, this great hole dug directly in the ground, large enough for several hobbits to enter. And looking down and kind of investigating a bit, I find the skeleton of prodigious size, a bear or a large orc, and a crude club about thrice my height. So I just kind of quickly get out of there. I'm like, I've had enough of the North Moors for now. Let's figure something out. And I rush down the rest of the way to Oatborton. And I think I'm going to end it soon because I've been going for about an hour and 30 minutes. So I will do experience. I did not accept a mission from a patron. I did my own thing. Complete a meaningful journey. I'll say that was
It.
So that's 2 skill points.
Reveal a significant location or discovery.
I think I did find something significant. This tower is significant in some way, and I might come back. So that's 1 adventure point.
Overcome a tricky obstacle. I did not overcome any obstacles. Survive a dangerous combat. I did. I survived. I mean, I survived by escaping. Participating in a council? No. Face a revelation episode? No. Survive a dangerous combat? Yes.
Achieve a notable personal goal? Not really. I mean, I guess this was a personal goal, but my personal goal, I guess, was to investigate it and learn about the ranges, which I didn't really. There has to be something more to this place, and I think I'm going to have to carry on. Maybe have a fellowship phase to learn more about this place. So I'm in Oatborden now. I do have enough now to raise my valor or wisdom, so maybe I'll do that. So that's the end of my adventure. Episode 2 of A Hobbit's Journey. Thank you all for watching and listening. This has been Fantasy and Roleplay signing off. Please like the video, share the video, subscribe if you want to get updates on content, and ring the bell icon if you want to be notified every time I upload a new video. Thank you very much. Enjoy your adventures in Middle-earth. Signing off.